What the fuck am I doing with my life? Nothing! Thank you for stopping by. I haven't uploaded in a month. I'm sad again. I already have, dumbass. Give me life. Okay, where are the faces? Where are the bodies that go with the faces? Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. What do you mean, play? Where are the faces? Where are the bodies? Okay, how is this happening? What have I done? Shit, I didn't finish that either. You and you are not the ones. Where are the ones I picked out that I designed faces for? Where's the sheep? Okay, not you, not you, not you. Is that the sheep? Nope. Nope, nope, and nope. Where's the sheep? Okay, here they are. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. It's a start. Welcome back to the madness. Today we are matching bodies with faces. At least that's the hope. Sheep. This says bless me. Sheep is getting this one. That is Sheep's new face. Okay? Alright. You can just hold your face right there. Okay? Good. Now... Okay. Okay, this big guy, he's getting this face. That's going over there. Okay. Blue is getting the blue face. Okay. And, okay, that leaves this guy, and this guy, and this guy. Okay. I feel like you were going there. You were going to be like a princess. Can't remember where everybody went. You go there. Okay. Were you coming this one? I think you were getting this one. Yeah, I think that was you. Okay. I think Duck was getting Cthulhu. Okay. You were getting this one. Yeah, you were going to get this one. That leaves me with these two. You were not the one. Ah, shit. I can't believe I lost them all. I don't remember if this was one of them or not. I don't think it was. I think it was... You could fix the bow. And that could go there. I think this one's too big for the little faces. Yeah, too little, too big. You get you. What's down here? Oh, I think I found something. This gets this guy, I think. Or should we go monster? I don't know. What do you think? I think I'm going to keep with the color scheme because I am unoriginal. I'm going to go with that. Okay. You can go over the corner here. You can go there. And I think you will get this face. I also get this guy. But I still think he'd need a slightly bigger face. Okay. I should listen to something. Okay, dokie. Lovely. Indeed you were, before I got my hands on you. I'll stuff its face back in. And its muzzle, too. I need a bit more guts. Makes it a more sturdy body for holding heavy faces. Let's see what Game Theory's up to. There we go. Ugh, commercials. Where's my hot glue gun? There it is.
Why does finding something to watch feel like an impossible mission?
It's happening, isn't it?
Prime Video
I think I
makes
should
it
have waited
easy
to trim it,
free
because then it's starting to fluff again.
buy big movies. Find your happy place. Prime Video.
Okay.
Greetings, theorists, and welcome to your first day here at Game Theory. Join our community and care for others will help you make a brighter future. Yeah?
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, the show that might be a little late to the poppy party, but hey, so are mob games, so fair is fair. Now, I'm sure you're probably wondering why MatPat suddenly sounds British, so let me introduce myself. I'm Tom. I'm from England. I'm allergic to apples. I want to be Dorko and axe throwing. Oh! And this is my very first episode as the host of Game Theory. That being said, this is far from the first Game Theory I've ever worked on. I hadn't actually done the math until writing this episode, but it turns out I've written around 140 theories over the last 3 years working here, which is wild. And I've covered so many different topics too. ARGs like Welcome Home, science and math episodes like Tom Nook is a Crook and Markiplier's Perfect Pokemon, which was fun, if not a little weird. And of course, I've written my fair share of indie horror lore for franchises like FNAF, Cooking Companions, and the topic for today's episode, Poppy Playtime. In fact, I've been working with Poppy Theory since the very first video back in 2021. Yeah, much like
Sorry, little bear.
at the very beginning of FNAF,
You were going in the dump before I got my hands on
I
you.
was there analysing every game, every spin-off, every trailer, trying my best to solve what the heck was going on in this abandoned factory. Now, over 2.5 years later, we finally got him to dive into Chapter 3 and oh boy, this was a massive step up. Different enemy encounters, a much longer playtime, and the scare factor was turned up to 11. Oh my god, why? Ow! Weirdly, not the scariest teacher I've ever had. High school theatre was rough, but that moment's a little way into the story, so let's start from the beginning. We are dropped down a trash chute by the big bad of this chapter, Catnap. After escaping being crushed, we find our way down to a giant underground portal that contains a mysterious and horrifying location that's been teased since the end of Chapter 2, the Playcare. As we descend, we are introduced to a new character, Ollie, a young boy that speaks to us over a telephone and is working alongside Poppy and Kissy to take down the prototype.
I know you're probably mad at Poppy for not letting you escape, but she needs you. We need you. You are our mission. Together we can save a lot of people. And by the way, my name is Ollie. Nice to meet you.
Together, we solve some puzzles, have a few hallucinations, and encounter the terrifying Mr. Light and her good friend Bob. Finally, after all that, we come face to face with Cat. And hey, the final showdown that isn't a chase sequence. Look at you, Mob Games. You really are growing up. After electrocuting Catnap, Prototype lowers his hand from the heavens. Catnap kneels in worship of his god, and 1006 stabs him in the face. We bring back the power to the Playcare, divert the red gas, and use the elevator to escape even lower into the facility. Seriously, how deep does this factory even go? Eventually, this game's gonna be us just trying not to melt from the heat of the Earth's core. But as we descend, we hear the final scream of Kissy Missy fighting something. Poppy yells after her, but we're too late. We lose the light, darkness takes over, and the chapter ends. It's very dramatic and definitely made the wait worthwhile, but Mob Games didn't just increase the quality of the mechanics, they also filled it to the brim with the good stuff. That's right, this Sky Dome is bursting at the seams with lore. We've got more VHS tapes, notes, death messages, all that show us that we were right about the red gas, what the Hour of Joy was, and when it happened. But while this chapter proved some of those theories right, it also threw other theories into question. Namely, what is the true identity of the Prototype? For a long time, we believed it to be the CEO of Playtime Co., Elliot Ludwig. However, with the reveals of this chapter, I'm no longer certain that's the case. And it all comes down to two characters. Our newest helper and guide through the Playcare, Ollie, and the often ignored and angry character we hear about from the VHS tapes, Rich. Something old and something new. Feels kind of fitting for my first episode, really. Step into my shiny metal cable car, friends. It's time for us to find the truth hidden inside this horrifying factory.
I think it's gonna be okay.
Come with me, and
And
you'll
you'll
be
see
in a world of pure annihilation. Eat your heart out, Chalamet. So to kick things off, why do I think Elliot Ludwig is deconfirmed as the Prototype? Well, in this chapter, there is a radio program we hear playing while exploring Home Sweet Home.
Local authorities report that the body of a young boy has been found on the estate of the late Elliot Ludwig. Organs as well as key bones from the skeletal structure were reported missing from the body.
The child's body was found at his home missing bones and organs. The pieces that we know are being used to create these bigger bodies, thanks to some paperwork discovered during the Chapter 3 ARG. This flies in the face of our initial theories that Elliot wasn't aware the experiments were being done. Now, it does say that this was the home of the late Elliot Ludwig, meaning that he's dead when the body was discovered, but that doesn't mean that he's dead when the body was placed there. And given how explicit this is, it feels like the devs are trying very clearly to show us that he knew what was going on. In our recent timeline episode, our proposed solution was that he was aware, but lost his memory during the conversion process, like what happened to Thomas
There we go.
on the restoration VHS. That's why he turns on the staff, despite being involved in the experiments himself. However, I'll be the first to admit that this is pretty speculative. We've not heard from Elliot Ludwig himself outside of the announcement for Playcare. We've assumed that he would become angry because we feel like he wanted to help the kids rather than hurt them, thanks to the adoption posts around the factory. But it's a pretty loose connection. I also found this post from Reddit user Infinite Universe on the Game Theory subreddit that showed a drawing from Elliot Ludwig's office during Chapter 2. This drawing is addressed to Elliot, but notice what's at the top of the picture. Mummy Longleg's arm, meaning Mummy, experiment 1222, had to be in existence while Elliot Ludwig was still alive. So he cannot be experiment 1006. It's basic math. So this isn't exactly new evidence for Chapter 3.
I'm so stressed about my job right now. I ended up chewing off my nails.
Good job on finding that one, guys.
I haven't chewed my nails since high school.
Who is the Prototype? For that answer, we need to take a look at our something old Rich. If you have no idea who I'm talking about, I don't really blame you. To be honest, I kept forgetting who he was between chapters. Despite appearing in every installment, he doesn't seem to have any connection to the story whatsoever. He was working in the storage rooms in Chapter 1, he got demoted in Chapter 2 to the, quote, Island of Misfit Toys, which, you know, nice Rudolph reference there. But third time's the charm, I guess, because now in Chapter 3, he's back with another VHS in one of the caves we explore outside the Playcare. When I heard his name, I realized he had to be important to all this. And thanks
There we
to
go.
this new VHS,
Nice
I think
flat
we know
face.
why. Have a listen and see if
Stick
anything
your new face to it. Like so. Next one is Ducky. Ugh, I hate when people date shit. Companies.
Floodlights and painted skies. We're not even allowed to talk to these kids. Isn't that...
Sorry? That doesn't sound like the Rich I know.
Well, I'm trying to stop being so pissed off all the time. My wife says I'm a lovely man, but gotta control my temper.
Did you catch it? Rich actually cares for these kids. In his very first take, he mentions how he feels the orphanage is a good idea, but he also points out it's very on brand for the company, so it makes him seem distant.
Don't want to waste. Don't want to get with the garbage, so we'll go there for now.
And how it treats the orphans. Underneath his aggressive exterior, he cares for them, and that attitude seems to be working in his favor.
You
There we
know,
go.
Richie, with my return
Quack quack.
David Chicago,
Oopsie.
I'm thinking about eating the boat. Really? Nothing official, but I think
Oh, I think that was supposed to. I have no idea what's. Oh, it's supposed to go around his neck.
It's unclear to what position, but we do know that the higher up in this company you get, the more you begin to learn about the true nature of things. It's the executives at the company that are running the Bigger Bodies initiative. And so there's a chance that dear old Rich here got promoted and was clued into what was going on. But given his love for these kids, I have a feeling that wouldn't sit too well. This puts Rich in an interesting position that primes him to potentially be the true identity of either the prototype or the player themselves. We know that
And use Photoshop to make your images more surreal. First, I'll grab the lasso tool and select the area where I want to add an object. I'm going to click Generative Fill. I'm going to type in Modern Pot with Calm and generate.
Money makes the world go round and round and round and round. Crypto makes the world go forward. A more open, inclusive, transparent system for everyone.
the player was recognized by both Mummy and Mr. Light, meaning he had access to both the game station and the play areas that were only really operated by staff members involved in the experiments. Plus, when we looked at the slides of the executive staff members in Chapter 2, one of them was conveniently missing a name. Light code, so we couldn't figure out who we were. If Rich is getting promoted, there's a chance he was given access to these facilities and continued to climb the ladder to be an important part of the team. So much so that he was informed of the experiments they've been doing, which would have horrified him and likely led him to quit, only to return years later. The problem is, the letters that fell off the sign of the executive slides don't spell Rich or Richard or anything that would point towards him being an executive. The tapes also show Rich to be an aggressive type who isn't afraid to speak his mind. For him to miss the hour of joy, he would have had to just run away, which doesn't fit in character. I also don't think Playtime Go would be particularly happy with someone who knew what was going on and had a tendency to make a fuss about it just leaving their position. I mean, just look at Paul Rowan Stoll, fed to Voxy Boo for discovering the truth and planning to release it to the public. Which is why I think it's far more likely that Rich is the one that goes on to become the prototype. The VHS shows that while Rich is trying to keep it under control, he has a temper on him, which matches nicely with the prototype's violent tendencies.
The next day I got demoted down to the freaking island of Pittsburgh.
The prototype seems to possess an unprecedented level of intelligence, as well as a alarming willingness to commit violence.
Rich is also temperamental, flying into these aggressive moods with very little prompting.
Just hardly happy about it with manufacturing on our neck about it. Because we can't fight stupid market.
Which is exactly how Leaf Pierre described the prototype during the Chapter 3 ARG, temperamental. Now, we know these both can use their memories like Thomas Carpenter during the Restoration VHS, but most experiments do retain some kind of core personality traits. For example, Kat has unwavering faith in the prototype, something he had back when he was the orphan Theodore. And so the prototype being aggressive tracks with Rich's predisposition. There's also the prototype's initial goal, which seems to be stopping more toys from being made, stopping children from being experimented. Which again ties into Rich's protective attitude towards these orphans.
Do you think these kids deserve some real sunlight instead of floodlights and painted skies?
But once again, that's all interpretation. Mapping one character's emotions onto another isn't exactly solid proof. However, there is one more piece of evidence that I think ties Rich to the prototype in a pretty pretty undeniable way. Outside the playhead dome, we can find Catnap worshipping the prototype at a shrine built using scrap metal and toy parts. But what's interesting about it is this part right at the front, a human skeleton, acting as the head of this abomination. But it's not just any skeleton either. This skeleton is wearing a hard hat. I know, that seems like a really random detail, but think back to all the tapes we found.
My nails hurt.
So far. Each one
They're too
found
short.
the location that Rich was working with. Chapter 1 was the storage room, Chapter 2 was the rejected toy room, and in Chapter 3 we find his cave inside the cave next to toolboxes, construction platforms, and builder's nets. Rich is working in construction, likely after being demoted again from the rejected toy department. Now, I'm not saying that this skeleton is Rich. Instead, I'm saying that much like the shrine is
So happens
shown as the prototype,
I'm living in my room forever without a
this
face.
skeleton is
Where's your
supposed to
stuffing?
tell us that Rich
You are like
is trying to work
flatter than my ass.
prototype.
Fix
And
that.
he was angry at the company for destroying the lives of these innocent children, and so given the opportunity, took revenge. It also lines up pretty well from a timeline perspective. It might be easy to think that if Rich became the prototype, he couldn't be angry at the company or their experiments, as the children weren't turned into toys until after the prototype was made. But that isn't necessarily the case. Remember, the prototype's experiment 1006, and in Elliot Lovelace's office, there's a note talking about the experiment using poppy dough to revive dead rats. It's the one that has the line about using larger subjects, i.e. children. This test was labeled 814, almost 200 experiments before the prototype came into existence, meaning there were 200 failed experiments before they found success. This is what Rich discovered, the plans to turn these kids into monsters. Maybe he even witnessed those 200 experiments fail, the lives of those orphans lost in the pursuit of science, innovation, and cheap labor. So he did what he always did. He complained. He tried to get it shut down, but obviously it didn't work. And Playtime Co. did the only thing they could do to stop him going to the press. They used him as another test subject, helping to create the first successful experiment, 1006. And so he rallied the toys to help him take revenge on those who harmed them, promising them the one thing they longed for.
Breaking Serums by L'Oreal Paris with 12% pure vitamin C. Skin looks 2 times brighter. The best nutrients for their best life. Science is that.
That is a clip from the song Sleep Well by CG5, a song made in partnership with Mod Games and was posted to the official Mod Games YouTube channel. It is an absolute bop, but what's more important is the extra lore hints it gives us. The song shows the toys prior to the Hour of Joy, repeating over and over again that they want freedom. This was the reason for rebelling and causing the Hour of Joy. This is what the prototype was promising them, and as we know, they succeed. They kill off all the staff members, they have control of the factory, save the orphans, and yet, when we return, the toys are still here, still serving 1006. They never got their freedom, but why? Well, in the song, we do hear this repeated lyric, an artificial facade from a fraud of a god. And it makes way more sense when you check out the other version of this song that was released on the same day on CG5's channel. The song is exactly the same, but the video is different. It's set after the Hour of Joy with a destroyed Playtime code factory, scratches, dust, and blood lining the walls. The toys are still singing about freedom, even now, and so it feels like Mod Games spelling out that 1006, the only character we know that he's compared to a god, is alive, and we can see this for ourselves in Chapter 3 Death Screens. We believed for a while that these death screens are not coming from just one person, but rather multiple. Most notably, however, any message with capital seems to be coming from 1006 himself, and in this game, one of them stood out to me. This research must stay buried. Nobody will leave. He was never going to let the toy leave the factory. Instead, he wants to keep everything locked away. And I get it. I'm not sure the world is going to be super accepting of a bunch of flesh-eating sentient toys. But more importantly, if all these experiments were done in the pursuit of cheap labor and eternal life, it wouldn't take long for others to try and do the same thing again, harming more children and causing more pain. The toys from Playtime wouldn't be safe either. They would become case zero in these new experiments, picked apart and tortured so they could figure out what makes them tick. It would mean more pain and suffering for those who've already suffered enough. As one of the death messages says, these souls deserve peace, which won't come to them if they are released into the outside world. But clearly they aren't at peace down in the factory either. Like the song shows, they're still begging for freedom all these years later. And now, characters like Kiss and Missy are helping us because they realise the freedom that 1006 promised them isn't coming. They're turning on him, they're restless, which then leads Catnap to tie up and torture anyone that loses faith, these so-called heretics, like we see with Dog Day. However, it is Catnap who is blinded by his faith, because another death message reads, burn this place to the ground. Combining that with the message from earlier about keeping all the research buried, and I think we have a pretty strong idea of what the prototype plan. He wants everything the company ever touched destroyed. be it poor children that got turned into toys, or the executives of the company like us who performed these horrible experiments. All of them must burn along with this place. From his perspective, this is an act of mercy, at least for the toys. They will finally be put to rest. Finally, they will know peace. Which is why, while Catnap is suffering during Chapter 3's final boss fight, rather than kill him, Prototype kills him and drags him away. He stopped Catnap's suffering. But for those of us who did these horrible things, we need to seek justice. And that is why we are here. We are the last senior employee that remains. We need to pay for our crimes to make sure that the horrors that happened in this place never happen again. But for that to work, you need to lure us, to put us in dangerous scenarios we likely won't escape from. Something that stood out to me was the final tape we received in this chapter. A tape from Harley Sawyer, the doctor, the one who started the Bigger Bodies Initiative, talking to 1006. There are a couple of key details in this tape, like the fact that Prototype occasionally slips from singular pronouns to plurals. Which does make sense when you consider he's adding other toys to himself, making them part of him, like Mummy Longlegs told us. But the big takeaway for me was this last scene. Regardless.
Okay. Let us begin with Princess.
1006. Specifically, voices is heard, rather than just voices of the people that are a part of it. That is the last thing they tell us about 1006 in this chapter. It's literally the parting word we get from these VHS tapes, which again tells me they're important to bear in mind when we look back at this chapter. And while I could make a joke about there being a robot that can mimic people down in the basement seeming a little bit familiar, I'm gonna hold off because it actually ties into another character I promised to talk about today, our new helper, Ollie. Ollie felt like a weird addition to me in this chapter, and not just because he sounds exactly like Gregory from Security Group.
Bake your skin with Nivea 5-in-1 Complete
Shit.
Care. Give
I
your
didn't mean to
skin
do that.
all it deserves.
Is that Gregory?
Gregory? Someone said Gregory. Stop. Not Gregory.
Gregory? You made it here! Oh no!
Who's this, Gregory?
Check this out. Look at the two.
Gregory.
Yeah, you're not really helping the whole FNAF connection here, Mob Games. Regardless, I found his presence odd purely because of one crucial detail. He's a child. The factory has been abandoned for 10 years. Any child that somehow survived this long would be at least a tween at this point. And he does have to be inside the factory as well. Otherwise, how does he send us keys to the various parts of the playground? It also seems unlikely that this is just a toy with a child's voice. Every toy we've encountered, Mummy, Poppy, Dog Day, all have adult voices. So if he was a toy, he wouldn't sound the way he does. But then, who is it? Simple. I'm suggesting that Ollie is a voice that the Prototype is using to deceive us. Poppy. There's this drawing from Chapter 2 that shows a child playing with all the bigger bodies, and in it you can actually see Poppy standing there playing with the child. Poppy is the one that tells us to trust Ollie, which makes me think that he might have been a child she played with in the facility, and that's why she's willing to trust him. Plus, if you go through the game files and look at previous maps, you can find a room in Home Sweet Home called Ollie's room, meaning he was a real child in the play care at some point, which would have allowed 1006 to mimic him. And here's the thing, up until now, we've managed to escape both the likes of Huggy Wuggy and Mummy Longlegs without any help from anyone. Why now do we suddenly need help to get through the play care? Sure, Ollie does have all the keys to the facility, but when it actually comes to things like puzzles and monsters, he doesn't offer us any help. He goes quiet and just leaves us to it. The only time he speaks to us is telling us where to go next, leading us into more and more danger. When you beat Catnap, you also get this weird line.
Wow, you did it! You must feel pretty good. Catnap dead, you're one big step closer to the prototype. One step closer to winning. You made your choice. You're staying to help Poppy, well, finish the job. This win is yours.
The words are technically correct,
The best kind of correct.
but the tone feels off, almost sarcastic, especially that line, "You've made your choice." Like, my God, I've been helping Poppy since the beginning. That hasn't changed. And also, I could escape even if I wanted to. What I think this is a slipping of the mask. Ollie accidentally revealing his true self because he doesn't want us to win. He wants us dead. Now, he doesn't speak entirely in plurals, but as I mentioned earlier, neither does the Prototype, especially when he's mimicking someone else. That means being said, Ollie does occasionally use lines like this.
She needs you. He needs you. You are her mission.
You are our mission. In the context of the scene, it feels like he's talking about him and Poppy, but calling us their mission feels like a strange choice of words, especially when you remember that 1006's mission is to lead us here and kill us. Throughout the rest of the run, he also uses we a lot, again, in a way that could be interpreted as him talking about himself as a player, but then there's words like this.
We need to make that red smoke go left instead.
The we in the subtitles is capitalized, and despite multiple updates to this game, it's still there, at least at the time of recording, which makes me think it's a purposeful decision. This isn't the first time we've heard from Ollie either. During the trailer from Phase 3 of Project Playtime, we actually hear him giving an opening monologue, teasing us about who he really is.
Guardian Gem of the Forsaken. Call me a Forsaken.
If that's not him admitting he doesn't care about us and our freedom, I don't know what is. He has lost his compassion, just like Rich, the prototype, lost his compassion not only for his fellow staff members, but also for the children he wanted to protect. He will kill anyone that stands in his way, just like we hear happening to Kissy Missy at the end of the chapter. Him telling us that he is a wayward plaything cast aside and lost in the depths of abandonment is literally what happened to the prototype. He was just a plaything to Harley Sawyer, and then eventually cast aside into the depths of the facility once he finished serving his purpose. And remember when I said that 1006 speaks in capital letters? Well, in Project Playtime, the VHS tapes use the same capital letters, and its use of plurals seems to confirm that our theory that this is 1006 is right. We understand you desire answers. You wonder who we are. It was your doing that made us. And in Phase 2, we actually receive a gift from 1006.
I might switch out this bow for a green one.
The phone, a telephone that will be oh so familiar to anyone that has played Chapter 3.
Hey, can you hear me?
The telephone, the monologue, the mimicking voices, it all points to our new friend Ollie actually being the prototype. A fake voice mimicked from a child he once knew to give us a false sense of security and allow us to be manipulated. All in the hopes of fulfilling his goal of burning down the company that has tortured so many people. But after all this time, the prototype, Rich, the once kind man who dared to stand up for what he believed in, he doesn't care who he hurts. You, Poppy, even the children he swore to protect. Their deaths are now just what it takes to see Playtime Co's legacy moved from the face of the earth. And so, if we want any chance of surviving the next chapter, we need to remember one thing. Don't trust Ollie. And also remember, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. And if you're hungry for more Poppy lore, well, have I got a video for you.
It was alright.
On the left, you'll find the Poppy Playtime timeline that we did just before the release of Chapter 3. It's a little out of date in places.
Matt's voice is a little higher.
If you want to learn a little bit more
It could be the
you can always
accent.
go and watch the video on the right, an episode of GC Live where Matt and I discuss the behind-the-scenes lore of episodes I've worked on. As always, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all next week.
That was alright.
Pretty good feeling.
That was alright. Do 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 do. I'm a red versus blue.
Red team, this is blue team. We are in position. How copy? Over.
Blue team, this is red team. I copy. Blue in position. Over.
Gold team, this is blue team. All units are in position and awaiting further instructions. What is your status? Over. Gold team, 2-3. This is blue team 1-2. Radio check. Over.
Yeah, we're here, blue team.
Gold team, I repeat. What is your status? Over.
We're pretty good.
What?
Actually, we were wondering if we could maybe change our name to Orange Team.
What difference does it make?
You tell them it makes a big difference, Bitters, because I am orange. I am not gold. I am not yellow. I am fucking orange.
Red? Get off the radio. The teams are fine.
The team sucks.
You better go recover.
All right, gold. Go tell the blue team to suck a dick and then get in position.
Whatever you say, Captain.
We're infiltrating an enemy base and you're bitching about colors.
It's a misleading title. People can get confused.
Oh, shut up.
No, he's right. I'm confused.
Caboose, you're always confused.
That's confusing.
Ooh, okay, doors opening in approximately 15
Hmm.
seconds.
I'm gonna have to put a weight in the back,
Doesn't work.
keep him from going forward. But that's
Probably
a
is.
more project.
What's Sarge saying at a time like this?
Shut it, Simmons.
Probably, yeah. Here we go. Did we win? No. Apparently we've unlocked one of seven security doors.
Oh, so I talk on the radio when it's jeopardizing the mission, but that happens and everything's fine? Shush, Griff. He might hear you.
Doors opening!
Yeah!
Captain Griff, we have a visual on the main compound. Over.
What's it look like?
Well, on a scale from 1 to 10, say we're pretty fucked.
Stow that kind of talk, Bears. RCO's put a lot of thought into this plan, so why don't you show a little faith? Right, Captain Caboose?
Yes.
Alright, we're almost there. Everyone ready?
Oh, you're gonna be so cute.
Ready.
Hey. Captain Simmons, Jensen has something to say to you.
Yes, Jensen?
I just wanted to say that no matter what happens, it's been an honor working with you, sir.
The name? You, Lieutenant? That is, yes, that's affirmative. Over.
What the fuck was that? What? Did you just stroke out for a second? You sounded like Caboose. This is me. Can I be him? Shut up. WB, I'm smart. I like slide rules and protractors. Oh, I can't wait to go do some protracting.
So I still have problems talking to girls. Big deal.
Yeah, it is. Especially when your squad consists entirely of girls. Now man up.
Oh no, this is like junior high all over again.
What?
I don't want to have to play in the women's league. I want to be a mathlete, Dad, a mathlete.
Okay, I don't want to be Simmons anymore. God damn it, why do I do everything around here? Everybody get ready. Going on my mark. 3, 2, 1. Every man for himself.
What? What's going on? Suppressing fire! Hey, what's up there? Reinforcements on our way!
Don't worry, we're coming! Sorry! There's so many pedals on this thing! What the hell was that?
Oh, we stopped.
What is the point of these training exercises if you people aren't going to work together?
Well, we did. We had team names and everything. Griff, let's go. Orange.
You had a plan, you were organized, but once again you crumbled under pressure. Lieutenants, debrief with your COs. Everyone else, round up all training weapons and uniforms. That's enough capture the flag for today.
Whoa, and what the hell are we supposed to say? Hey guys, sorry you still suck. Turns out we suck too. At least we have something in common.
Tell them what they need to hear. Tell them that they can do this, and that next time, they will be better.
So you want us to lie to them?
No, I don't.
You wanted to talk to us first?
I know Tucker has better than this.
Hey, Felix. You think I can have a turn with that sniper rifle?
Absolutely not. Sometimes I like to take my hands and cuff them around my eyes. Like little hand binoculars. Shut the fuck up, Palombo.
Greetings, fellow web surfer. Be sure to subscribe to our channel before you go. It'll be just like we're friends. Not that I need friends. Please don't go.
It doesn't look good, guys. They've really beefed up their security. Why?
What's going on?
Well, it could be that someone from up top is coming to visit, or it could be a response to the weapons I stole from this place a few weeks ago. Gee, I wonder which one it is. I think it's pretty obvious it's the weapon. Stop talking. We're gonna have to go with Plan B. Wait, what do you mean? What's Plan B? We plan C4, we leave, and we blow this outpost to hell. What? It's a standard hit and run. Done it a million times, we'll be fine. Actually, no, we'll not be fine. I thought you said we came here to gather intelligence. That's gonna be pretty fucking difficult when their computer system is in about 40,000 pieces. Okay, I get that you want to save your friends. I do, really. But data retrieval is no longer an option. Once we find out where they're holding Wash and the others, the New Republic will do everything they can to save them. But today isn't that day. Yeah, whatever. Now, we've only got one active camo unit. Tucker, that's going to you. It's a little damaged, so try not to run it constantly. Only when you need to disappear. Got it. As for the rest of you, that's up to your captain. Oh, right.
Not feeling it.
Potty training. It can be messy, not with pull-ups. I worried about nighttime accidents, but pull-ups nighttime.
Guys, I have a brilliant idea. What if we do the In My Feelings challenge? What do you think? What's the In My Feelings challenge? It was that dance people did outside of their moving cars in 2018. That's stupid. I know. It's weird to me that YouTube Rewind 2018 came out over 5 years ago, which makes it old enough to be something to reminisce about. There's a fresh generation of iPad kids who don't get to experience the yearly tradition of coming together as a community and watching the newest YouTube Rewind, and absolutely hating it. In case you all forgot, the website youtube.com used to make these celebratory videos showcasing all the important events and memes that had happened throughout the year. And all these YouTubers would get together and do a silly little dance, and everyone had a grand old time. And since these videos were produced by the very platform you're currently watching this on, Rewinds would always receive a lot of attention. Now, according to my memory, YouTube Rewinds were pretty well received. At first. But you see, as time went on, the general public and the YouTubers involved started to grow weary. People were throwing around words like cringe, and this isn't what YouTube represents, and that's that. That's that. And it all accumulated to YouTube's magnum opus, YouTube Rewind 2018. Everyone controls Rewind. Hashtag YouTube Rewind, which is a video that was so universally hated that it holds the world record for most disliked video ever. A record it will now hold perpetually because of the whole dislike thing. The audience wasn't happy, the YouTubers involved weren't happy, until finally YouTube snapped and was like, alright, fine, if no one wants it, we'll stop doing it. We were just doing this as a favor anyways. And so YouTube discontinued the Rewind project indefinitely, with 2018 being the last time we ever got a Rewind.
But what about me, James?
How dare you even consider yourself worthy of being called a Rewind 2019? A top 10 video? Really? At least 2011 had Rebecca Black. Leave 2019. Before I tell you the top 10 ways on how I'm gonna hurt you. So getting back to the actual last YouTube Rewind, you know, the one with the most dislikes in the whole world, if we skip to 3 minutes and 2 seconds into that video, we see... Guys, let's do the In My Feelings challenge. Oh, jeez. That's me. I know I'm a little late to the party, but since we've all had enough time to grow and reflect as people, I would like to finally share some of my thoughts and experiences working on YouTube Rewind 2018. The first thing I want to talk about is how none of the YouTubers involved got any type of monetary compensation. At least none of the ones I talked to today. This was a big issue that a lot of other YouTubers had in their expose videos, but I personally was not bothered by it. Was I getting paid in exposure? Yes. In fact, I actually lost money doing this because I had to get my friend Rush to animate some of the scenes, so I, paid him for his work. But what I'm trying to tell you is that as much as I'm about to complain about YouTube Rewind, don't feel any sort of empathy for me. Okay, I did this to myself. I think the best piece of advice I could give you is that if YouTube ever reaches out to you and is like, hey, do you want to be a part of Rewind? You should say, let me read the script first. But I didn't know that in 2018. And I also didn't know that in 2017. If you look at YouTube Rewind 2017 and watch all the way to the end, keep going, right there in the credits is me and Jaden doing a floss in space. It was a lot cooler back then. They also wanted all the animators to animate our characters in the middle of a Jello fight, and I think they wanted to put our cartoon characters over footage of real-life YouTubers in the middle of a Jello fight, but they gave us no direction, and I don't think they ever filmed a scene where they were like, okay, real-life YouTubers, remember to leave that spot empty because that's where the animated guy's gonna go. Because you know they gotta plan that kind of stuff out ahead of time, right? So instead they just threw our unusable animated Jello fight with no background at the very end as this extremely out-of-place post-credit scene. So 2017 was pretty uneventful for me. Like, yeah, I was in YouTube Rewind, but you know, I was in the credits. Who's gonna stick around and watch the credits, you know? But 2018 was gonna be my year. Rewind wanted me back, and this time they were giving me a speaking role. Holy shit! My line was going to be, guys, let's do the In My Feelings challenge. And then the YouTuber Swoozy, who would be in his real-life human form, would say, right? And then we'd fist bump Who Framed Roger Rabbit style. So do you remember that trend in 2018 where people were doing that dance outside of their moving car? Well, apparently that was called the In My Feelings challenge. Back in 2018, I didn't even know it was called that. I thought it was called stupid. Now, if you've at all watched YouTube Rewind 2018, Everyone Controls Rewind, hashtag YouTube Rewind, you might be wondering why after I specifically suggest we do the In My...
All new Coca-Cola Spice with an unexpected burst of raspberry and spice flavors.
Open your eyes bigger. New Panorama by L'Oreal Paris. A multi-level bristle brush to catch every single lash. Corner to corner. Bigger. Wider. See life in Panorama. Because you're worth it.
Can be seen dancing outside of a moving vehicle. That's because YouTube didn't want to promote unsafe behavior. So they didn't want to show anyone dancing outside of a car. So they weren't really doing the challenge then, were they? YouTube, if you don't want to promote unsafe behavior, don't promote the In My Fucking Feelings challenge. Kids are still gonna look up the In My Feelings challenge and then watch multiple videos of people dancing outside of cars on YouTube. We don't want to promote unsafe behavior. It's on your platform, dog. You know, looking back, that should have been my first red flag, but I was still optimistic. I was so excited to be a part of this huge project, and I knew there were going to be a bunch of YouTubers involved, but I was going to be one of the few animated ones. I was going to stand out. I was going to be the odd one out. Knowing how Rewind handled animation in 2017, when they asked me to be a part of 2018, I told them, hey, love the line, but I think it would be a good idea if we met in person, you know, and that way you can show me everything you're planning, and I can ask you all the right questions. And they agreed and invited me to visit the set the day they were filming Swoozy's line. So I was there, physically behind the camera, when Swoozy said, right? And then fist bumped nothing. I got to experience what it was like to be on a real film set with actors and directors and costumes and catering and makeup, and it was a lot, honestly, for just one line. And maybe it was because they had booked Swoozy for a full hour, but they had this beautiful man say, right? And then fist bump nothing no less than 50 times. It's one line, guys. I think we got it. And then after like take 87, my stomach sank when the director said, okay, Swoozy, how about you try saying, guys, let's do the In My Feelings challenge. Wait a minute. That's my line. Are we changing it? Which line am I animating now? Do you want me to do both, just like how you got Swoozy to do both? And what, oh, you'll pick your favorites? I asked the director right there which line was I animating, and he said he was going to let me know. And then we went outside and filmed Swoozy dance in front of a brick wall, and which parts of him dancing was I going to animate my guy next to? He said he was going to let me know that too. So I took all the information I learned that day and referred it back to the other animators. What they wanted were 2 shots. They wanted 5 seconds of our characters dancing, and they wanted another shot of all of us sitting around a campfire singing horribly. After doing some quick math, I realized that if all 7 of us animators did a 5-second dance, that would be 35 seconds of cartoons dancing, which for YouTube Rewind would be a lot of screen time. I had a sinking feeling that they weren't going to be using our full 5-second clips. And they didn't even let me know. Now for my life-changing speaking role, I had to record my line on my own, which normally wouldn't be a problem. But in late 2018, I had just moved to California, and I didn't have my own setup set up. And to make the whole situation worse, I was only given 1 week to finish my animation and record my line. So, the clock was ticking. Now, I think the second best piece of advice I could give you is that if you're ever in need of a quick jerry-rigged sound booth, go into your closet and hide under a comforter. In fact, hello, real-life human James here, coming to you on a Blue Yeti inside of a bathroom. The acoustics in here are terrible. Could you imagine voicing a cartoon character in this? Guys, let's do the In My Feelings challenge. See, it doesn't work. Yeah, alright, and now we're here inside of our makeshift sound booth, and you can hopefully hear the quality change right away, guys, let's do the In My Feelings challenge. See, we don't need expensive sound booths to have a good time. But back in 2018, I wanted the most important line in my career to be recorded in a professional sound booth. Luckily, I was in luck. You see, California is one of the few places home to something called a YouTube space. A YouTube space advertises itself as a place to aid content creators, providing them with facilities to create content for their YouTube channels. And to access said facilities, you needed at least 10,000 subscribers. A little weird they put a number on it, but I get it. I had just moved to California. I knew I was going to be hitting this place up all the time. When I first went to the YouTube space, I didn't call ahead or set up an appointment or anything because there wasn't an option to do so on the website, but I figured they would have to help me out, right? The line I needed to record was for YouTube Rewind. And you're a YouTube space! Like, Susan personally asked me to be here, So I drove an hour to the space, I went inside, showed them my sub count, and they said that in order to use the facilities, I had to fill out all these forms on my computer back home. But it's for YouTube Rewind. Then I drove another hour back home and started filling out the forms, but by the time I got to the quizzes, I realized, I think this wild goose chase is probably going to take longer than a week to resolve. With time running out, I gingerly asked my new friend Aaron if I could use his setup, and he said yes, and I didn't even have to show him my sub count. I showed him anyway, though. So the line you hear me say in the 2018 Rewind was recorded in the Game Grumps office, which I think means, at the very least, Game Grumps deserves to be credited in the description of Rewind. Come on, YouTube. They were the only ones who took me in when your own company turned me away. The deadline was fast approaching. It was fast approaching as soon as I got it, but I've been in crunch mode before, and I'm sure the nameless video editors were just trying to hit their impossibly tight deadlines too. I reminded myself what I was making all of these sacrifices for. Everyone was going to unanimously love this video and what it represents, and look at my channel afterwards and subscribe.
It isn't how much you invest, it's who you're investing for. Make your life richer with personalized plans, tools, and goal setting from Scotia Smart Investor via Advice Plus. You're richer than you think.
Start your day. Start the competition. We make it to you.
Oh, shut up, Kellogg's. I'm not having cereal for breakfast or supper.
2018. A day that changed history. It was raining that day, and the world was exposed to what YouTube had been cooking up. And they all collectively hated it. Like, a lot. Like, to the point where I would be lucky if I didn't lose subscribers. I think the audience knew that none of the YouTubers involved had any say in the creative process. We were just reading our lines from YouTube's script, So at least I get to say I'm in the most disliked video in history, and no one's too mad at me. Right? So, was all of this stress worth it? No. I got paid in exposure, and the exposure was overwhelmingly negative. In fact, I think Rewind was only positive for one other YouTuber. Do you have any guesses? Jaden motherfucking Animations pulled off the biggest prank of 2018. One of the reasons people disliked 2018's Rewind was because PewDiePie, the #1 YouTuber at the time, wasn't included. But Jaden, being the genius that she is, knew he wasn't going to be included again, so she snuck in a PewDiePie reference into her 5-second dance, and no one caught it, and it made the final cut. Jaden was crowned the least cringy part of Rewind, and everyone loved her, and she got a big boost in subscribers, and all I gotta say to that is, good job, Jaden. Are you enjoying that cake and eating it too? Now, there were a lot of valid reasons why people dislike 2018's Rewind. One of them being that the video starts out with Will Smith? He's not a YouTuber. But they didn't seem to mind when 2016 started out with The Rock and 2017 started with The Colbert Show, but whatever.
Yes, they
and
did.
I don't know if you remember what YouTube was like in 2018, but it was in the news a couple of times, you know, over a few small things. However, with all of that being said, I do genuinely miss YouTube Rewinds. Getting to wake up and go, wow, it's December, and a new YouTube Rewind just dropped. I'm gonna watch it. And then I get to see a handful of YouTubers I recognize do a dance and not recognize any of the other YouTubers. And then I get to see the rest of the internet's reaction to it. It's better than Christmas for me. Even if it's the cringiest video ever. We still all watched it together, as a community. And I think that's what I miss the most. When YouTube felt more like a community. As long as it's not a top 10 video, I welcome back YouTube Rewinds with open arms. And if they do make a comeback, I don't think I'd want to be a part of it. Not because I got burned in 2018, but because I wouldn't want to rob another ignorant YouTuber of the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be taken advantage of and work for free, and be a part of history. For now, we just have to live with the 9 rewinds we do have. But if you're like me and are just dying to see more YouTube Rewind content, and I know you are because you're still here, I've discovered a pretty massive Easter egg. In the description of Rewind 2018 is a link to See All the Easter Eggs. And for your viewing pleasure are 13 brand new shorts that I can only describe as skits that were edited together with existing Rewind footage. I don't think that's what an Easter egg is. They're not that funny and are pretty hard to watch, but isn't that what Rewind's all about? Have a good night. Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Don't you ever say, 'cause I want you. And I want you. And I want you. Don't you ever hey?
I need some coins now.
The rest of the words.
Don't think I have any white ones. I don't think I have any, period. No, I had a couple of pairs, I think.
You start moving? Let's get messy. I love knowing that Huggy's little.
Oh wait, I do. I have one pair of horns left, but they're awful big. I actually think I want pink ones.
Learn more at Huggies.ca.
They're too big. No, they're not big. We'll go with that. We're gonna go all the way.
On Fabulous for Less.
Okay, I'm ready. I don't know how to play this game.
I don't know either. It just says reach the exit, so whatever that means.
That's fine. The back rooms can't contain me.
I'm excited.
Nothing can.
I have to check it out. What is this place? Oh wait, am I not with you?
Oh, that thing doesn't want us to escape. We gotta find the exit. We gotta fix
Oh, we
it.
gotta find each other.
Hi, sweetie.
Oh, I see you.
Coming down? I'm just about done.
We escaped the back
I'm
rooms.
gonna put the horns on this guy. And I'm gonna see if
Do you love
I
my
got any new horns coming soon, because I need them for jackalopes for Easter. And then I'm done.
Why don't you have a face?
I'm sorry.
Like a ring wraith. I don't want to even hear Gandalf. Take it. You must take it.
Well, the best line is roast chicken.
It's quite cool. All right, where are we going?
I can't pick you up.
it's the
I got the hot glue gun going, so give me that.
I'm in the back room.
Your chair, though. So you have a place to sit.
Oh, we can't move it, bro.
You better hope you find a toilet.
Well, shit in the hazmat. We can't get split up though. We gotta stick together.
Oh, okay. I mean, oh, there's a door here.
There you go.
Exit.
tried to open it with E, but it just makes you leave. How'd you do that?
I think I like this one better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me in!
Yep. Okay.
I got this shit!
Oh, make a jump!
There you go.
F again? What is it with these games with F for doors? Oh yeah, but isn't it the thing in mazes like stick to one wall or something?
Pieces.
Only if you're on an outside wall.
Oh, you looked this up. What is it?
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
Oh, it's Fix's ladder.
Oh, cool.
Hey!
You fixed it
There we
already.
go.
Key. Back to the door.
Oh.
Back to the door in the back room.
I guess we can't climb it next to. That is cool though. Really? No, I'm not
Come here.
Oh, you were just standing there on my end.
I went to the beach today. It was lovely.
Got a key in the hole. Hold on in the valley. Oh, roll the rat and ball. Down in
The valley, yo.
Is this where we came from?
We stuck to the wall, didn't we?
Yeah.
Here, come.
Oh.
Let me love you.
Wow. More of the same.
You need to balance yourself. Oh, sweet.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, baby.
You gotta keep moving. I'm behind you. Ah!
All right, baby.
I'm just staring at the ceiling now.
Yeah.
Good
I'm staring
boy.
at you.
Yes, you are.
Can you see me?
No.
Handsome beast.
I'm below you.
Oh,
Beast.
I fell down.
Oh, you're such a handsome beast.
where'd you go?
Oh, hi. So I was stuck behind you. I couldn't balance long enough, and then I fell down.
Oh. How are you gonna get back up?
I can't jump high enough.
You're staring up.
I mean, it looks like more of the same down here. I mean, I could just go around and see what I can find. Your little head poking down.
Go. I'll wait for you.
Okay, bye. I'm trying to see if I can see you,
I am. Oh! Damn it! I was about to say I am a god at this. The end was right here. This is the end.
but... Yeah. Okay, well, maybe we can find it again. Ah, Jesus! Oh, Jesus! It's still coming! Too smart for you, haha! I'm coming back!
Don't bring it to me! I don't want him. I want infinitely now.
I think so. Dude scared me. Whew.
I scared you.
No, the dude. You just there suddenly. He was waiting.
Is he still chasing you?
Yeah, let me know if you find a door.
Yeah, he fucking hates you. Over this way, left.
You found a door?
There's arrows.
Oh, he's up.
I don't know where you are.
I don't know if he's gone, or did he just lose interest in me? Oh, hey! Hi!
Do I lean?
No.
Oh,
Jesus! I'm coming. I'm right behind you. Oh, Jesus Christ.
God. Where the fuck did we park?
Cool.
There
You
we
remember where we
go.
parked?
Honey, we don't have a car.
I have an ID card.
There we go.
What's your state?
That's my last set of antlers. Horns, whatever. Head decorations. Yeah.
That's
Alright.
me. I found it.
I think I'm gonna call this a night. I need to do some tweaking on everybody tomorrow, add some weight so they can sit right, and take off the fluffy wuffies, and yeah, but I think they're done. I think this one's done. I think that came out pretty adorably sweet, and it's a little top heavy, but still seems to sit pretty well, so yeah. Alrighty. Good night, everyone. Thank you for stopping by, and I will see you on another day. What day? I don't know.